2 hours after the businesswoman picked up her piece of paper with my message. She came back down the aisle and sat in the seat beside me. She bent over, trying to stay low. "So, you're stuck too?" she asked. I kept my voice low. "Yeah, my name is Jack, by the way. I'd say it's nice to meet you, but, you know." She nodded. "I'm Mary. You're wrong. Getting your message was by far the best thing about the past day. I've spent the last day and a half thinking I was alone in this." She paused for a moment, looking up the aisle. When she spoke again, her voice was a whisper. "So, Jack, you have any theories on what the hell is going on?" I considered lying, but decided the truth was for the best. "I think we might be dead." Mary shook her head. "Maybe if it was just me, or you. If this was some cosmic train to hell, why would there be just two of us who realize what's going on?" "No idea," I replied. Mary pulled out her phone and handed it to me. It displayed the Wikipedia article for flight FH-854, the aircraft that disappeared in 2014. I read through the article carefully. There were dozens of theories trying to explain what happened. They ranged from hypoxia to suicide to aliens. "Not much other than that. This may have happened before," she said. "How about you? Any theories as why no one else can see what's going on?" We talked it over and realized one thing we had in common was that we both fell asleep at exactly 4:03 a.m. There's no way we were the only ones asleep at that time, though. Maybe everyone else was just napping. I don't know about you, but I was well and truly asleep. The cabin lights flicked off, and a dozen red emergency lights in the floor turned on, casting the cabin in a red glow. The intercom crackled to life, saying, "Passengers, please return to your seats. The seat belt is fastened, and we may experience some turbulence. We'll be landing in about an hour." Mary froze. "Should I go back?" she asked. "Maybe they won't notice if you're gone, but maybe they already know, and they're just trying to separate us." The intercom crackled again. "Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to announce the arrival of the captain. We'll all be given the opportunity to speak to him. Please remain in your seats until we call you. If you need assistance, don't worry. A flight attendant will happily help you on your way." Sounds of passengers getting to their feet echoed from further up the plane. We sat in silence, trying to get a look through the curtains, separating us from first class. "The captain?" I asked. "No idea, but it didn't sound like they were talking about the pilot to me, did they?" "Nope," she answered. That's when a pungent sulfur smell hit us, so strong that I had the irresistible urge to gag. It reminded me of the worst rotten eggs I'd ever smelt in my life. But the old woman sitting ahead of us didn't react. She just kept watching a movie on the back of the seat. "Don't cough," I said to Mary. We fought it for a few long seconds before giving into coughing, hardly and violently as we could. A second later, the curtain opened up. Mary and I froze, staring down the now red fuselage. 4 flight attendants passed through the curtain and made their way down the road towards us. Grins stretched wide across their faces. They were still crying, but this time the tears streaking their faces were darker. It's hard to say with the lighting, but it looked like blood. My eyes weren't drawn to them, though. I looked over their shoulders at the figure standing near the front of the plane. It was a black silhouette, standing beside the cockpit door. It was at least 2.5 meters tall, and pointing towards us with a single finger. It had called us. "The bathrooms!" I shouted. We ran towards the back of the plane, the flight attendants closing up behind us, blood dripping from their grinning cheeks onto the carpet of the plane. "The captain is here," he said in a perfect customer service voice. His grin widened as he moved towards us. We made it to the bathroom, jumping onto opposite sides. I slammed the door shut and locked it, pressing my feet against the folding center part of the door to keep it closed. They began banging on the door and pulling down the handle while I fought to keep it closed. "I'm sorry, but you'll both need to speak with the captain," one of the flight attendants said. "Jack! Jack!" Mary screamed. "Jack, help me!" A distinct snapping sound like breaking metal came from her bathroom. She continued to scream as the sounds of struggle migrated up towards the front of the plane, towards the black figure I'd seen. I'd like to say I jumped out and fought them, that I distracted them or did something heroic. I didn't. She was carried away, and a few short seconds later, her screaming was just cut off. It was radio silent. That was a few hours ago, and I'm still locked inside the bathroom. I kept trying not to think of what they might have done with her. The thing in front of the plane didn't seem human, at least. I hope he didn't kill her, or it didn't kill her, in other words. Not after she was shouting for my help like that. I can't take it. I haven't heard any movement outside in a few hours, but I'm terrified to open the door. I'm far from the seat outlets, so my phone is almost dead, and I haven't eaten in way too long. If I go out there, will the flight attendants remember? What is that thing? What if it's still waiting for me? I don't have much time to make a decision, but I will update you here of what happens next.